So the requirements to receive the $400 compensation of guitar bucks, there's three main requirements. The first is to assign 2 of our modular learning activities, and that is to assign the pre and post quizzes that are tracked through the Quia account. So those are already set up in our Quia account. All the pre and post quizzes are there, and the modular learning activities are available on our website. The second is to create 2 modular learning activities and quizzes, but that is not done through Quia. That's just an extra page at the end of the Word document that has quiz questions and answers. And I'll show you how to get to the template for the learning activity. And the third is to upload those 2 MLAs, or modular learning activities, to our website. So I'm going to go into a little detail on each one of these. So first of all, to assign the 2 MLAs with those pre and post quizzes within Quia, it's important to know the correct process for assigning within Quia. And all of that is laid out at guitarbuilding.org/Quia. And here within this screenshot, you can see that there's a PDF of how to do this. And there's also a YouTube video that's about 5 minutes long that goes through the detailed steps of what the teacher account looks like, as well as the student account. So that's the first component, is assigning the 2 of our, I believe there are 12 available. So you just have to pick 2 and assign the pre-quiz before the students learn about the information, and then go through the learning activity and then assign the post-quiz. The second is to create the 2 modular learning activities of your own, along with accompanying quizzes. And if you go to our website, guitarbuilding.org/institute, there are lots of institute materials here, and about halfway down the page you will see a modular learning activity template. So that's a great place to start with that Microsoft Word template download on that page of the website. And then once you've completed those, you need to upload them. So at the moment, the 4 institutes that have completed are Connecticut, Florida, Ohio, and Washington. So you would choose the link for your institute location and then click upload. And from that page, it asks you a couple questions, including what is your institute faculty participant number. So this is available at guitarbuilding.org/upload your activity. Ted, do you have any questions at this point? So I'm actually going to go through and let's see, it looks like maybe you're muted. Anyway, for some reason it shows that you have a microphone, but there's a red line through it. But you should be a presenter, so I'm not sure why. Oh, let's see, unmute. Let's see if I can do that. There you go. Maybe try now, Ted. I just unmuted you. I cannot hear you, unfortunately. So I guess just go ahead and type if you do have a question. Oh, now I can hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
I can.
Sean, can you hear me? You said you
Can you hear me?
can.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I hear you. Hey, this thing got me up on presenters. I should have been a participant, huh? But
actually, we opened it up, and yeah, we opened it up initially to have everyone come in as presenters. So you're doing the right thing. You're good.
Oh, okay, sir. I didn't want to mess up any of your recordings or anything like that.
No, you're good.
Thank you, sir. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, nice to virtually meet you as well. Do you have any questions yet? I am going to go through a little bit of detail on how to do the Quia administration of quizzes. But is there any questions on those first 3 points that I hit?
No, I recorded them. That is, I transcribed them as you were talking because I didn't know whether the microphone was getting through or not. But I selected the proper one. Even though we're a skill center here, we have equipment that's from the 1940s. So our apologies for that.
No, no problem at all. Okay. Yeah, and this. Go ahead.
I said I got it working now. I don't know whether this is a duplex or a simplex. In other words, do one of us stop talking before we can get communication from the other person?
Sounds like it, yeah.
It's a
So I'm going to go ahead and go through I'm going to do a demo of the detailed steps of how to administer the Quia quizzes. So if you wouldn't mind, please download the Quia PDF guide and follow along. That's available at guitarbuilding.org/Quia. And it's PDF download. There's also a video, but the PDF download is what I'm going to be going through. So it would be good to follow along with that. And everyone watching this at a later date can do the same. The PDF download is good to have just in class. You can watch the video once or twice through, but the PDF is a good resource to have.
All right.
And just so everyone knows, if you have questions later on, you can always email info@guitarbuilding.org, and we will get back to you with any of your questions, including I forgot my institute ID or my password for Quia, or how do I get to this link? We're happy to help anytime. So I'm going to switch over to Chrome. Okay. And I'm going to go to quia.com/web. And Ted, can you see my Chrome web browser now with Quia?
I see the blank space. I know you're in Chrome, but there was a screenshot of it, and then there's nothing now, right? There's nothing now.
Okay. Let me see if I can fix that.
Okay, it says share my screen.
Okay. Let me see if I can share the correct screen. One sec. How about now? Can you see the Quia?
Yes, Quia, instructors on the left and students on the right.
Perfect. Okay. So you are going to use your institute ID as the username. And everyone should have received an email from Quia back when, I think it was the first or second day of your institute over the summer. So in my case, my test... Go ahead.
It did happen. We did get our username and password and everything.
Perfect. So since I live in California, I use CA as an example, but you're going to have something that's like OH for Ohio, WA for the Seattle one. Right. Perfect. Yeah, for Washington. So this is my example, but you're going to have your own username, which is your Faculty Institute ID, and that's how we track everything. All of your submitted documents need to be associated with that ID so that we can process the requests. So, and then enter your password. We can reset your password if need be. So now that I'm inside here, we're going to go to step 2 in the PDF. Step 1 was just logging in at quia.com/web. Step 2, I'm in my account. You can customize this. You can add a picture for yourself, things like that. But that's not the important part. The important part is just setting up a class roster and assigning quizzes. So number 2, we're going to click on classes. Step 3, we'll click create a new class. So it's good to give this a descriptive name so that we can track what types of classes, what type of STEM disciplines are being administered here. So I'm gonna just say math, algebra. And there's no need to add an end date or anything like that unless you desire that. We'll leave it on instructor enroll and click submit. And this is, again, an area that you can customize. You can customize the name of your class webpage, change colors, but none of that is necessary. All that's important is click Save Changes and Edit Roster. Now that you're in your roster, you can add students. So the students are going to be invited by this method right here. So you need to create your roster. For sake of example, I'm just going to use John Smith as the first student. Now the student ID is critical because this is how we track your students and associate them with your Faculty Institute ID. So the first digits are your Faculty Institute ID. So that, in my case, it's CA 051401. And then the last 3 digits are that of your students. So you can give them any 3 digits as long as each one has a unique number. So it makes sense just to start with 001. And then I think it's best to give them an email because that's the easiest way to give your students their username and password. So we're going to say John Smith at, my school is the Grower School, so it's growerschool.edu. And then we'll put another student in there. We'll go Jane Doe. And so she's the second student, so I still have my Faculty Institute ID for the first digits. So it's CA 051401 and then 002 because it's the second student. Jane Doe at growerschool.edu. So when you're finished with that, click Save Changes. And it says you have successfully updated your class roster, and you can click Continue. So now you can see Quia automatically generates those usernames for your students. So at this point, you have a couple options. You can send yourself an email with the list of students, usernames, and passwords. And you can also email each student his username or password, and password. You can also view and change the password right here. So if we click, you can see Quia automatically generates a random password that the student has the capability of changing, or if you need to change the password because the student forgot, you can also do that. So now you have a class roster, and you will email the students. You'll click Send. The information you requested has been emailed, and you can click Continue. So now it's time to actually assign the quizzes to your students. So now we're at part 2 of the PDF, assigning quizzes to your students, step 1. So you click on Quizzes. This is after you have the roster already set up. And you want to assign the first quiz before you assign the first learning activity, because we want to test their knowledge before the learning activity as well as after. So as you can see from step 2, the STEM guitar quizzes are nested in our network here. So there's no need to create a new quiz. Just click on Network, STEM Guitar Network, Quizzes, and STEM Guitar. So nested within those folders are all of our quizzes here. So let's assume our first quiz is going to be computer-aided design and computer-aided manufacturing, and we want to make sure we give the pre-assessment. Now this is alphabetically organized, unfortunately, so the post-assessment is actually listed before the pre-assessment, but ensure that you're assigning the pre-assessment first, and then click Assign. So at this point, I'm going to choose which classes. I'm going to uncheck science and choose just math, algebra, and give them, let's see, we're going to stick with login required. This way we can ensure that we're going to track which students get which scores based on their ID. And the rest, other than making sure that only one attempt is permitted, the rest is up to you. So you can change the presentation style. Feedback is probably a good idea to keep score only, at least for the pre-quiz. The post-quiz, you may want to give the summary and answers, but for the pre-quiz, you don't want to give the answers. So when you're ready, you click Done. So that assigned it to that class. Now in step 5, you can see that each one of those students will know which class they're in, but you can also direct your students, when there's a quiz, you can direct them to your class website. So again, right now it's just listed as page 3, but you can customize your Quia website URL. So to get to this page on step 5, I'm going to click classes, and then here you can see for my algebra class, this is my class web address. It's quia.com/pages/shaws11/page3. Or in your case, you would probably customize it and say algebra. And then at this point, you can view results. There are no results yet for this because no one has taken it. But for science, I have done some test sample quizzes. So you can say view results and see that John Smith scored a 90%, Jane Doe only scored a 0%. So at this point, you can also view reports and view more customized in detail reports. So you can actually see each student's performance and see which answers they got wrong, which answers they got right. Print this out, use this for your grade book, things like that. So that is it. That is how the process for assigning quizzes to your students. So at this point, I'd like to open it up for questions. Any questions about that process or about getting your guitar books or anything else related to the grant?
No, the guitar books are tied to the requirements, so that's very understandable, Sean.
Okay, cool. And they are tied to your Faculty Institute ID. So we scrub all the data of names. So none of your names are going to come through. It's just linked to your Faculty Institute ID, and then that's how the guitar books get processed. So it's important to ensure that you have your correct Faculty Institute ID. Ted, it sounds like you have it, but if anyone else out there is like, oh, I don't remember my Faculty Institute ID, I lost that card, please just email info@guitarbuilding.org, and we're happy to fill you in with that information.
Yes, Sean. Unfortunately, I have 2 offices, and all that information is at my other office.
Okay. So you do need your Faculty Institute ID?
Are we going to be needing it this afternoon?
No, not today, but you will need it. Yeah, eventually when you're ready to assign these quizzes and upload your activities and things like that.
Correct. I have all that information.
Perfect. Okay. Well, if anyone out there needs it, please just email info@guitarbuilding. And Ted, are there any other questions that you have or anything I can help you with today?
No, sir. Just a point of information. My institute right now is working through the guitar activities. We ordered 18 guitars. All of them came in, and the students are right now in the process of doing their initial mechanical work on the instruments. That is the sanding, the cutting, and all of the preparation for nice things to come.
Awesome. Good to hear. That's great. How's it going?
Well, it is going terrific. I mean, these students are very, very, very motivated. We've been talking about it since I returned from the institute here in Seattle, and let them know that we were going to be involved with this. STEM project, and they just couldn't wait. And
Awesome. That's
one of
great
the
to
things
hear.
thank you. One of the things that I've noticed every time I open the site is that we are not listed as one of the participants and one of the folks, one of the institutions that is working on getting guitars ready.
Oh, please, yes. Let me give you my email address, and you can please send me your school name, and I will definitely get it up there on the website.
Yeah, it's when I opened the chat when I couldn't get the microphone going, it's the Snow Isle Technical Skills Center in
That's right,
Everett,
you have it.
Washington.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. I will get that up on the website. Absolutely. I'm happy to hear that you were checking that out. And yeah, we will update that periodically, but I'm happy to get yours up there within the next couple of days for sure.
Oh well, thanks. I'll if you do that, I'll make it a point to show the students that we are listed.
Cool. Okay, good to hear. So please, Ted and everyone else, please email me if you encounter any issues, or feel free to email info@guitarbuilding.org if you have issues with the grant-specific items, like the guitar bucks, or just building your guitar. If you have any questions, hey, how do we do this? Please reach out to us.
All right, that is very nice of you, and we most certainly appreciate your effort, and we'll stay in touch.
Okay, thank you, Ted, for joining today. Thank you, everyone else, for watching this at a later date, and we'll hear from you soon.
Thank you, Sean.
Okay. Yep, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.